I'm Jessica. Welcome to Gather Together Homestead. Our homestead is in Missouri, and if you know anything about Missouri, it's often joked about how Missouri weather is a little unsure of itself. It just doesn't know what it wants to be. So we are currently at the end of January, and today we're in spring. Tomorrow, the rest of the week will be winter. Today is supposed to be like 60 degrees. So on our homestead, I like to take advantage of these days and get as much done as I possibly can. That way, when we have the below zero temps and the snow and our typical winter weather, we don't have to do the activities that are more difficult, the ones that take more time. We can kind of get out here, feed these animals, and get back to the fire. So today I'm going to take advantage of cleaning our larger chicken coop. We do have 2 chicken coops on our homestead. This one houses the most birds, so as you can assume, it does get dirty quicker. Now we do a deeper bedding, so we don't have to clean as often. In fact, within the last few weeks, I added some straw on top. It gave them some added warmth with our cold temps, but also kind of freshens it up in here. But today, again, since it's going to be like 60 degrees and I don't have to be bundled up head to toe, I can comfortably do a complete clean out in here. So I was just going to share with you how we do it here. Everybody can clean their coop different. This is just what we do, what works for us, and maybe it'll help you. We're going to get every ounce of bedding out of here. We're going to sanitize. I'm going to first start out with getting these birds out of here. That way they're not under tow, they're not trying to get out, because right now we are not free ranging outside. We're using our chicken runs only. Once we lost our leafs out here, we were losing birds left and right to hawks and owls, things like that. So the predators were having a heyday. So right now we are solely using our chicken runs. So I'm gonna get them out of here and we'll get started. Go on. Out you go, out you go, out you go, out the run. Go on, go on, go on, go on. Nope, nope, nope. Out, 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 out. Go on, thank you. Get out, Fluff. You're not allowed. Get out. No kitty cats. Okay, so I have all but one chicken out. I do have a hen that's in her nesting box, so I'm just gonna let her sit there, but I'll get her out here shortly when she's done laying her egg for the day. So while I've got you, I wanted to show you a couple of things that we have in our coop that have been phenomenal. We are a part of the Amazon affiliate program, so these 2 items that I'm going to show you, if you click on our link, all this means is that you can purchase the items if you're interested that I'm going to share with you that we like. It does nothing on your end, no pricing on your end will change, but for us, we'll get a small portion of that back. So you're buying the product that we've found that helps us, which you'll get to enjoy, and your purchase helps us as well. So thank you for even considering, but we will only talk to you about products that we like. I'm not going to push any products that we've not used and don't like. This is a little heat plate that we put under our waterers, and it is okay to use with your plastic waterers, so that's why we have this one specifically. We have one in each of these coops and have had great success with them keeping our large waters. I'm not sure if they're 3 gallon, 5 gallon. We have a couple different ones, but there are larger waterers, and these do a good job of keeping that water from freezing. So I'll make sure to post a link, and then I'll share with you here in just a second the other product that I wanted to share with you because it is fantastic. All of the chickens are out. Even my hen that was in the middle of laying her egg, everyone's safely out in their chicken run. Doors are shut, they cannot come back in. I've removed waters and feeders and just everything I possibly can to keep it out of my way. Our chicken coop has 2 sides to it, so I usually start with the farthest side, get all of that out, bring it in here. Today I'm going to be dumping that all into our Ranger, the back of it. Usually I'll use a wheelbarrow, but our compost pile that is nearest the chicken coop is done being added to. Now it's setting so it can compost, so where I'm going to go dump this is a little bit further of a distance, actually a lot farther. So we'll use the Ranger today, take it, dump it, as many loads as we need. The beauty of using the back of the Ranger is I also have less loads. But gonna get started. So usually when I'm going to do a project, best rule of thumb is go ahead and get as many things as I can think of that I'm going to need. So one thing that I need is I have a couple of different shovels. So let me step back here so you can see. I like using this big snow shovel because I can get a bigger scoop at once. Also, it's nice and flat so I can get right what I need. I also like this more square shovel because it helps me in the corners, the smaller areas, kind of under the roosts, things like that. I always grab our outside shop junk broom because I do dust our chicken coops. If you have chickens, you are well aware they are dusty, dusty, dusty. And I like to get it as clean as I possibly can. The other thing I grab is I grab a little garden shovel. This is helpful in their nesting boxes to get all of that out. And then a wire brush if there's any areas that I need to clean. Like I like to do the roosts and the boards going into their nest. I like to get all of that, their nesting boxes, kind of cleaned off. Also, what I like to use as a sanitizing, disinfectant, whatever you want to call it, cleaner for your chicken coop, any of our animals, I like to do a half vinegar, half water mixture. And the reason I do this is because honestly, I'm not a big fan of bleach. I do have bleach in our house and I do use it, but I use it very sparingly. So for me, I like that I can use a half vinegar, half water mixture to naturally and effectively disinfect our animal surfaces. And I don't have to worry about it being toxic to my animals. I don't have to worry about it being all the way dry. So this is a must-have for me. I also like to have gloves because a lot of times there's areas that I may have to use my hands just to get exactly clean how I want. So I use gloves. I have a couple of rags here so that I can kind of wipe down some areas once I spray. Obviously it is a chicken coop and it's not my house, so it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to get it as clean as I possibly can. Today I am using straw only. Our bedding, a lot of times we use the bagged bedding, the finer shave. I don't use the big cedars because they just are really expensive, but I usually use that kind of bedding. So today I'm just using straw because that's what we have an abundance of right now. We try and use what we have rather than always buying something new. So that's what I'm going to use. And then also, let me grab this. We use Diatomaceous Earth. It is a natural dewormer. If you use it regularly, it helps to keep the worms and mites and lice and all of that gone, at bay. If you're going to use it to get rid of an infestation that you already have, it does take a little bit longer because it's natural. So for us, I have found a lot of luck with mixing it in their feed. And then when I clean out their coop, I do sprinkle it in their coop and their nesting boxes. When it's summer and they're outside dusting, I'll sprinkle it where they're dusting. So we just kind of use it regularly. And I will say this bag is our second bag since May. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. It's 8 months. This is the larger bag that we use, the 10.5 pound bag. But what I'm trying to say is a little bit goes a long way, and it does last even as much as I use it in their coops and in their food. So for us, I like this. And maybe you do too. Maybe you have another method, but that's what I like really well. So I'm gonna get started getting all of this bedding scooped out, put it in the Ranger, and then I will start disinfecting. Okay, so I've got my first load all full. I'm gonna go dump this on our compost pile. If you have watched any of our videos, we just posted a video the other day about your garden soil amendments, what we use here on our homestead. One thing we use is our chicken bedding. It's got feathers, bedding, the manure. It's great for our garden and we like to compost it. So that's where I'm gonna go put it now. So this is our second compost pile. Our other one, like I said, we're done adding to. So this one is our newer one. We just had horse manure on this so far. And so now we've got chicken bedding and straw and manure, and we do hot composting. We'll do a video on that coming up soon, but we're gonna need to go get some more of that chicken bedding so we can keep adding to this compost pile and get our chicken coop clean. As I'm scooping the bedding out, I have a funny looking chicken. How are you, Junior? You're not a chicken. Are you laying some eggs? I've got the first side out. I always like to start with the back side of the chicken coop and work my way this way, because if you noticed, as I'm scooping and carrying, it's falling off of the shovel quite a bit. So now I'm gonna get this side emptied out, and then we're gonna start doing nesting boxes, dusting, and roost. So I've got everything emptied out in here. There's no more bedding. I even kind of swept the edges to get the big bulk that I could. The nesting boxes are completely empty as well. So now I'm going to start with the dusting and the disinfecting. So I usually use just a cheap outdoor only broom that I don't use in my house. I sweep off the tops of their nesting boxes. I like to sweep off the walls a little bit because they get really dusty. We have this is like a small shipping container. And so to kind of clean it up, when we bought the place, we covered the inside with a barn tin, and so it is corrugated, which of course is a cute little look, but it does hold dust in all of these little divots. So I don't know how important it is to get it cleaned off, but for me, I enjoy having it where I am not afraid of walking in here. I kind of want it to look somewhat spruced up as much as you can for a chicken coop. This window here we leave open all the time. It does have chicken wire on it. Just kind of provides a nice breeze for them, so they have fresh air movement in here when they're in at night. Okay, so that is as good as this side is gonna get. These larger roost areas, I generally use, that's what I usually use this shovel for. I wish that I would think about this when I clean this coop, because ultimately it would be best to do this first. That way then when I scoop everything off the bedding, it's all going out. But for some reason, every single time I clean the coop, I start on the floor. I don't know why. And then I regret it. Now is where my wire brush comes in. So the areas of the roost, their little roost part to get into their nesting box, these roosts, I'll run a wire brush on all of that as well. Ultimately, it would probably be best if I was wearing a mask, because this is gross, but I think about that every time, and I don't have a mask, so not one that would actually be beneficial for this, so I don't have one, but in the future I probably will. So again, this is half vinegar, half water, and I'm just going to spray down kind of the dirtier surfaces to essentially disinfect. All right. Spraying down inside of my nesting boxes. Okay, so that does go through quite a bit of solution. I did spill like half of this on my way out here. I didn't have the lid all the way on, so it did not go through a whole bottle, but quite a bit. But the nice thing about that is vinegar is cheap, so is water. This is not going to be perfect. It is a chicken coop, but much better than it was. All right. We'll let that air dry. Get this side done. Okay, so the bedding is all out. Got everything disinfected. Roosts, nesting boxes all cleaned out. So now I'm going to add straw down in here. They really enjoy this. They like to scratch around in it. And if you decide to be real cute in the fall and put it on your porch, they find it and destroy it because they like it. So I'll add this directly to their floor. Now I won't spread this out perfect because they enjoy getting to come in here and scratch, but I'll also put it in their nesting boxes, and they will be all set to come back in here and enjoy their clean coop. To put boards and blocks in here to set their feed and waters, kind of keeps them up out of that bedding, whatever we're using at the time, keeps it a little bit cleaner. Okay, so this is the other product I was telling you about that we absolutely adore having on our chicken coop. This is an automatic chicken door. And so you can set this a couple of different ways. You can set it on a specific timer. We just have ours set for like a sun up and sun down. It is fantastic. Although our chickens are in a run, we prefer them to be actually locked into their coop. Just one extra step of protection from predators if we had a raccoon or something get in here. This is going to keep them inside their coop where they're nice and safe. So we had purchased a different door, installed it, and it did not work. It would not open all the way. It was just really finicky. This one we've had on here for months now, and it works fantastic. We've yet to have to change the battery in it, and it's fantastic. It saves us one chore at night, and so we like it. I'll make sure to post the link on that one for you too. One other thing I wanted to talk about too is how often we clean our chicken coop. So there are certain things on the homestead that need to be very regimented and on a time schedule. This is not one of them that I am really regimented about. So for us, I just kind of pay attention when I come in here and am feeding and watering. How does the coop look? How does it smell? How are my eggs looking? We don't wash our eggs unless we have to. The ones that I do wash are usually ones that I wash and put right in the fridge that day or go ahead and cook for breakfast. So for me, I want my eggs as clean as possible. Of course, I want my chicken coop as clean as possible so that we have healthy chickens. But a couple of things I look for is, what does it smell like when I come in here? There is going to be a chicken coop smell, but it's going to get very ammonia smelling. You're going to smell quite a difference when it's time to clean that chicken coop. So for me, I keep an eye on what it smells like. What does it look like? Are there roosts getting very full of compacted manure on there? Is the nesting boxes looking dirty? If my eggs are looking dirty, then I know that it's either time to add more bedding or do a complete clean out, because the cleaner that my chicken coop is, the cleaner that their eggs are. So in the summer, I will need to clean the chicken coop out less than in the winter. In the summer, they're not staying in here all day. They're coming in, laying their eggs, and then they're out foraging. Right now, with it being cold and with it being winter, we do confine them to the run. So a lot of chickens for us will go out and use the run, but they will stay in here a lot more. So of course that means that their chicken coop gets dirty quicker. So I kind of just keep an eye on when it needs done. For us, with the deep bedding method, I can usually get away with around 3 months, but I just keep an eye on it and do it when it needs done. That way I know that our chickens are healthy, that their home is clean as it could be for a chicken coop, and that's what works for us. If you are enjoying our content and enjoying our journey, please subscribe, and that way when we post more videos, you'll be alerted and you can keep up with everything that we're learning, everything that we're doing. We do have a lot of great videos to come. Thanks so much. Have a great day.